Trick or treat!
Who are you supposed to be?
I am the host of Neighborhood Game Club, Frank Howley. Today, my guest is Kevin from Mega64. We'll be talking about horror games, working for Mega64, Game Shark, working at GameStop, and all the untold horrors above! So, stranger, what do you have for me today? A trick or a treat?
Tricks are for kids. Hey, this is Kevin from Mega64. I'm about to show you my whole collection.
Let's just start directly with these PlayStation games.
We're going to the stacked? I'm
Yeah.
running out of room here. Every Tomb Raider on PlayStation.
Whoa. What's your favorite Tomb Raider?
I would say The Last Revelation. I have every Tomb Raider game ever made.
Who would win in a fight, Tomb Raider, Nathan Drake, Indiana Jones?
I would have to say Nathan Drake, because he
Oh.
has that wit.
Okay, there you go. Laura Cross, what does she have?
Rhymes with wit.
You have Silent Hill on disc. We'll talk about that. Dino Crisis, Resident Evil. A lot of survival horror. Siphon Filter. Oh my god.
I loved the Siphon Filter games, and I collected them up. They continued making them, but I never played them beyond the original PlayStation.
I think Siphon Filter 3 had to get delayed because it took place in Afghanistan, and it was supposed to come out like right after 9/11.
Yeah.
So they delayed it. You know.
I remember that. I pre-ordered it, and I couldn't get it because of that.
So you have a few Dreamcast
There's some
games?
Dreamcast. I just started recollecting Dreamcast games. I used to have a bunch more, but I was an idiot, and I would trade stuff into GameStop to get new games. 10 years ago, I went, no more. That's never happening again, because I always regretted it.
You're the one who helped convert me. You
Yeah,
converted me.
I kept going, oh man, I wish I still had that game, and I stopped, and your collection goes nuts when you stop doing that.
Yeah. You have Endless Ocean?
1 and 2.
Whoa, damn.
I like just exploring games sometimes. Sometimes I just want to relax.
Oh, you have Silent Hill 2 on Xbox?
Yeah, I have 2, and I have the Platinum Hits one. I hate Platinum Hits covers and stuff like that, so I rebought it on original.
What's your favorite, like, OG Xbox game?
You can't go wrong with Halo. But Crimson Skies was a blast.
I never played that. Was that good?
So fun on Xbox Live. Rest in peace. None of these work on Xbox Live anymore.
You have multiple copies. You have Resident Evil games on PlayStation. You also have the GameCube versions of Resident Evil 3.
I collect, man. I have Tony Hawk's 3 on this one and PS2.
Hell yeah.
Because PS2's better.
You have a lot of duplicates, but spread across systems. I'm seeing you have Dead Rising OG, Dead Rising HD remake, so you just collect multiple editions of your
and I never get rid of the old ones. Ever. Because they're worthless to sell.
Yeah.
So might as well just keep them just as for a collection.
Yeah, it looks nice on the shelf. You have a very neat shelf. It's organized. You're definitely running out of space.
Yes, I had to move all my Blu-rays out. All my DVDs had to get off the shelf. Yeah.
Now let's dig through the crates.
These are bins I just have of old stuff that I don't play all the time. Okay, we got a Virtual Boy.
Hell yeah.
Still in the box.
Damn.
This is N-Gage memory card.
Oh shit! How many megabytes?
128. That probably cost me $3,000 when I got it.
You have an N-Gage?
I had an N-Gage back when I traded stuff in for money, and I never wanted to. Surprisingly, I never wanted to rebuy that.
Oh, you're missing out on Tony Hawk.
Here's all the N-Gage.
Hell yeah.
Found the N-Gage. I got Tomb Raider on N-Gage, of course.
Tomb Raider on N-Gage. Most importantly, Tony Hawk Pro Skater on N-Gage.
Shitty versions of the originals. You just dig deep into this stuff.
Is that a Game Shark? Are you a cheater, Kevin?
This is... You caught me.
Whoa.
You caught me. I got a Game Shark.
Cheater.
I'm a cheater. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I used to subscribe to Xbox Magazine, and they had a free demo disc in each one.
007. Oh, nice.
Def Jam.
Look at those hot chicks. I don't know what Anita Sarkeesian is talking about. I don't think there's a problem with video games. Yeah, it looks like fine.
October 2004.
Oh, damn, dude. What I would do a lot with demo disc is I would keep the demo disc and never buy the full game and just replay the same level.
Oh, this is good.
I have that.
Xbox Life Starter Kit.
Same thing. I whacked it. I never bought the game, but I played that Tomb Raider demo disc.
Yeah.
Oh, cheater! Sound the alarm!
Sorry. Hey, I got this at a swap meet for $20.
Wow.
It is perfect.
Because the problem with SNES, like the older plastic consoles,
it yellows and stuff like that. I was so stoked when he's like, "Oh yeah, $20."
Game Gear suitcase.
This is a suitcase with all the trimmings. This is the TV tuner for a Game Gear. We don't get any channels over this anymore, so this is useless.
You can't catch up on Westworld. Is HBO Go coming to Game Gear?
No.
Can you see Netflix on that? It looks like a spy computer briefcase.
It does. It's supposed to look like that. It looks cool. I carry this around with me all the time.
Pull out that mouse real fast. Show the ends. That's when we talk about like a
Yeah.
lot of old Super Nintendo
They
consoles.
get yellow.
The like plastic on it for whatever reason is completely molded out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It is.
Hey, does this connect to a computer?
Hope so, man.
Is there a Super Nintendo port on your MacBook? Okay,
Oh, there we go.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. I haven't confirmed this, but I think this goes for a lot on eBay. A lot of stores refuse to carry Conker because
Yeah.
it's like NC-17. So like Walmart didn't sell it, so a boxed copy of Conker's Fur Day goes for a lot.
Yeah,
You have
Perfect
Perfect Dark, complete in box from Nintendo
Yep.
64.
I bought these new years and years and years ago.
That's awesome. Yo!
Oh, 48 free hours.
48 free hour trial of Xbox Live. Your fun never ends. First person to watch this, if you want to see if you can get 48 hours, we're going to reveal this code online.
Okay,
You ready?
let's see.
We'll pull it. You can screenshot it. Let us know in the comments if you've tried to redeem the code. Live out your wildest fantasies
Go
on
nuts,
Halo 2.
48 hours.
48 hours. Have all the fun you can. There you go. It pays to be the viewer.
This is one of my
Yeah!
favorite Genesis
Complete
games.
in box.
Love that game.
Can you pull out that green thing down?
Yeah. What green thing?
That green, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about. Sound the
God.
cheater. Pull out Sound the Cheater alarm. We got action replay.
This one was actually cool because it let you like hack the game and you could play like as the alien in Halo and things like that.
This crazy taxi RC car.
Oh yeah,
That is
that
so
thing's
cool.
awesome.
Oh, Rachel got that for you?
Yep, she got that for me for our anniversary. Okay. We just went to KFC.
All right, now take me to Tower Records. Welcome to Neighborhood Game Club.
Hey.
It's been like 4 or 5 months. Last time I
It's
did an
been that long?
episode, last time I did an episode was E3, and then I was really busy over the summer, working a lot. Now things are starting to slow down. A little more time for video games, more time for episodes. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Kevin Bushong, San Diego native.
Yep.
So Kevin and I have been friends for like 8 years, probably.
Been a long time.
Yeah. And yeah, even whenever I go to his house, I was always marveling at his like just neat shelf of like video games. And like Kevin says, you don't like the like greatest hits collections.
No, I gotta keep it clean, man. I gotta keep it. No greatest hits, no platinum hits, none of that.
Player's choice, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember, one of the first like times I went to Kevin's house, he gave me like Dead or Alive 3, Fusion Frenzy, the like platinum Xbox.
Yeah, because
collection.
I didn't want. I had original copies of them
Yeah.
now. And I'm like, I don't need these.
So I was like very flattered, like, oh wow,
Yeah.
all right, there you go. Kevin gave me free video games. He's one to keep in the books. So it's cool. We filmed this collection, check stuff out. You have a lot of like old systems, like you said. You don't sell stuff. You never threw anything away.
No.
Going through your collection, you have like Game Gear, Virtual Boy, and like even driving over back here, it just made me think like how different video games are now today.
Yeah.
Because today things are streamlined, but like back then there was so many different like wonky gadgets, peripherals. Like you have Game Sharks, which like don't exist anymore. There's cheat engines on like PC and stuff, but like just the peripherals I miss with the
Yeah.
Game Gear and stuff like that. I do want to talk about Game Shark. What system did you have Game Shark for? Did you have Game Genie?
I'd never had Game Genie. I just had Game Shark for like PlayStation, and that was
Yeah,
the first time I ever
yeah.
had one. And that's all. I would cheat so much in games. I love doing it because you could just like go in, play any game, just full health, can't die, doesn't matter. And I learned as I got older that it's not as fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But when you replay those games without cheat codes, it's like, oh, I'm playing this how it's supposed to be played, and it's amazing.
Well, also, like when you're younger, if you're a kid, games are way harder because
Yeah.
you're dumb, you don't understand it.
Yeah.
So yeah, playing through stuff on infinite health was like the only way I could play through games. Like with GoldenEye, I never played, like I had a Game Shark for N64 and PS2, but the N64 Game Shark I used all the time. I use
Yeah.
it for GoldenEye just to unlock all the cheats. So I played with infinite health, infinite ammo.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun with that game because I would just run around and be unstoppable. My favorite memories with GoldenEye, using the Game Shark and like the cheats in the game. There's a level, one of the first levels is called like Runway, where you're just like, it's a short mission. You're James Bond. You're supposed to go out into a field, get into an airplane, and take off. So if you want to speed through the mission, you can beat in 20 seconds. The fun thing with that, though, is if you're on that level, enemies infinitely spawn until you touch the airplane. So what I would do as a kid, Saturday morning, I'd wake up, turn on my N64 with GoldenEye, turn on infinite health, infinite ammo, all weapons. I would just wait on that airplane
And
field.
just pick off people?
Yep, pick off people for hours. I would have all weapons unlocked, so
Yeah.
I'd go through every single weapon and kill like 100 people with the watch, 100 people with the golden gun,
Yeah.
and just shoot people for hours. So yeah, I don't know. Cheating made games so much fun. PS2 Game Shark. I can't remember. I guess I use it for Grand Theft Auto with Infinite Health. That's the only way I beat GTA 3.
Yeah.
Do you have any other memories with like specifically using Game Shark for anything?
I used like just Game Shark for some PlayStation stuff, maybe PlayStation 2. Cheat codes for before that.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
obviously.
everything.
But the best memory was the action replay.
Yeah.
Because it was almost like hacked. It wasn't really cheat codes. It was like hacked saves.
Yeah.
So you'd go in and you'd be in this area of Halo that you were not allowed in. It would be like some area of the level like down where you would die if you'd gone down there, but they saved down here. I don't know, somehow. You just download them off the website, and it was so much fun just like breaking the game and trying to get where you need to go. Yeah, it was really cool.
I remember like when Action Replay, when 360 came out, like Action Replay, there was like the last generation, but like you'd play Call of Duty and even Halo 2 on Xbox.
Yeah.
People's gamer tags would have like symbols and glitches in them, and people would be like, "Ooh, you're cheating!" And then like one day Xbox like just banned everyone, and now you can't do that anymore. I guess people still hack Modern Warfare 2, whatever.
Really?
But like, it sucked once achievements came out and like the used game thing became an issue. Cheat codes were just completely phased out.
Yeah.
Now, but also it works out because I'm an adult now. I can like play games better.
Yeah.
But what do kids do?
I know.
How
the era of the cheat code and the Game Shark are over for them.
How are kids supposed to beat Dark Souls now? You can't.
I know.
Unless you like play on PC. But are there children playing PC games?
I don't know.
I don't know. They're screwed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they play Minecraft.
Yeah.
So there you go. So what are some of your earliest like memories with video games? What were some of your early games that you loved playing as a kid?
Like legitimately, the first time I was a PC gamer.
Yeah.
At first,
Cool.
It was all Doom and Quake and Duke Nukem and stuff. I loved that, but it wasn't until the PlayStation that I went, oh, these console things are cool.
Oh, really?
So after playing tons of Doom is still one of my all-time favorite games. After that, I played Crash Bandicoot 2.
Hell yeah.
That was the first game I ever played on PlayStation. Loved it, and so I got all the other Crash Bandicoots and stuff like that. But that was my first like real like, oh, this is console gaming. This is what I like.
Yeah, it's funny. I never had like, because with me, I was console first. I had a PC, but like crappy PC. Yeah, I could play like Doom and like Shadow Warrior and like Duke Nukem and stuff. But like, I was never able to play Half-Life or even Counter-Strike until way later. My PC wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I played the early games, but like, I was always console first. But you did have a Super Nintendo, right? And then 64. Did you get those later?
I got those out of high school.
Oh, wow.
Legitimately, I did not have a Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 until I started collecting.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, like these old systems, I want to get into that. I always had friends that had those things, and I always played at those. But I never had one, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start collecting. So I went that Nintendo 64 that I had. I got it at GameStop for $20.
Wow.
Because it was used, and it's like, okay, like perfect.
So like, you grew up PC first. So like, as I guess a retro gamer, even like 2004, going back to these older consoles, what were some games on like Super Nintendo and 64 you were able to like enjoy past their prime?
A lot of them are kind of, they don't stand up.
Yeah.
But I still Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah.
But that came out like right at the end.
Yeah.
It was like 2001 when that came out. So that doesn't really that still holds up. But I'm trying to think. Other Nintendo 64 games, there weren't a ton of Nintendo 64 games that I super got into. But Super Nintendo games, I like Battletoad and stuff like I like and obviously Super Mario Brothers and stuff like all those games. I never played Super Mario Brothers World really. Super Mario World until much later.
One thing I was thinking about, like, I always see kids in Mario shirts now, and like Yogurtland has sponsored by Mario Brothers this summer. Like Mario and Nintendo is everywhere. It's just video games is commonplace now. My strongest ties to Mario are Super Mario World and Mario 64. And when I see kids with Mario shirts, I'm thinking like, I guess what is their memory of Mario is like Super Mario 3D Land?
Yeah.
Like what is like I guess every generation has their Mario games. What is like to you? What is like Mario identified?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
It's 3. Okay.
Legitimately, that's the one I played with like at friends' houses and stuff like that. That I loved that game. That's my all-time favorite Super Mario Brothers game.
And I think like even with Nintendo games, that's how I feel. Like I kind of don't. I mean, I get every system as they come out, but like to me, my favorite Nintendo consoles were Super Nintendo and N64. There's a new Zelda like for every generation, but it's like I only really like the games that came out when I was really into Nintendo, because it's the same properties every generation. But yeah, I'm curious in the comments, what is your favorite like not necessarily your favorite Mario game of all time, but what was your Mario, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
To me, it was Super Mario World and 64.
Yeah.
And then, when 3DS came out or whatever, DS, they put out, like, Game Boy Advance. They started doing the reboots and the HDs and all that. What other PC games other than Doom were you really into? Ski Free?
No, I never played any like the little actually
the freeware games.
Yeah, they.
Ski Free is sick.
I'm trying to think of a game I used to play nonstop that wasn't Doom or Duke Nukem.
I talked about this on another episode, but Chip's Challenge, that was on my dad's Windows 95
Really?
machine. I loved it. These little like maze games, Minesweeper.
I used to play the number one thing was Oregon Trail, but not the old one that was like it was Oregon Trail 2, and it had the worst music and the worst like voice acting over it. It was the best. I played that nonstop when I was a kid.
I can't even remember. Yeah, I had like when I got a computer, I got it at Compaq or CompUSA, which doesn't exist anymore. But it was a Compaq computer. It came with a whole like spindle of like games and demos. I got one of those things that was like 500 games in one.
Yeah.
And there was like Oregon Trail 3 in there and like some LucasArts games, and like I vaguely remember it, but like that's the other thing too. As a kid, a lot of these early computer games were like, I feel like they're aimed at older people who could read more. And like, as a 5-year-old, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in Oregon Trail. But I did understand Doom, and that was cool as hell.
Yeah, Doom was great.
So switching away from like earlier games, were there any early like arcades you really loved as a kid? Any strong memories growing up here in San Diego?
I used to like going to arcades. But the number one thing I never saw it actually rarely in an arcade. It was always in a pizza shop or a Mexican food place. But it was Area 51, the light gun game.
Hell yeah.
That's my all-time favorite, and it's not even a great light gun game. It's just I have such fond memories of that when I was a kid that's like my all-time favorite arcade game.
My one memory with Area 51, I mean I love that game too, but specifically I remember as a kid I went to a friend's like ice hockey game. I never cared about sports, but I was there to see a friend play ice hockey. But the entire time like I was there with these family friends, there was an Area 51 machine at this hockey game, and I played that the entire time.
Really?
I think the
game was so cheesy. It had like the
aliens
giant,
get down,
and they would dive over into the screen.
I love all those like Midway games, like Lethal Enforcement and stuff. But yeah, Area 51. That's the thing that sucks with like a lot of games you can emulate, like arcade games, but like a lot of those light gun games, like. You don't get the same effect if you're not actually playing it.
You need a CRT to do that too. Yeah, you can't even do it with.
Area 51 though is
Area
sick.
51 came out for PlayStation, and I got it.
Yeah,
like I was so stoked when that came out.
I had Time Crisis for PlayStation with the thing. You had to like connect it to your TV.
Yeah, all
that. Do you think like NASA shut down Area 51? Do you think they like decommissioned it?
There's too much information in this game. They had to shut it down.
I miss Area 51. I never played it. They did like a reboot on Xbox.
Yeah,
a first-person shooter. Did you play that?
No.
I think actually. John Romero worked on that.
Really?
I think so. He was a producer on it. After Doom came out and Daikatana failed, John Romero went to Midway for a bit, and I think he produced Area 51.
Really?
But I never played it. Was that good?
I never played it.
I gotta check that out. There were several like Alien games on the Xbox I didn't play. I never played Destroy All Humans. Did you ever play that?
Nope. I wasn't really super into alien games, games about aliens and stuff.
I don't know. It used to be really charming in the 90s, like with Area 51 and like I guess that X-Files zeitgeist of like, the truth is out there. There's a lot of cool ass alien games.
Yeah.
Now there's XCOM, but I don't know what else. When did you first start working at GameStop?
I started working at GameStop right out of high school.
What year was this?
End of 2003. Holiday 2003.
So this was like. So Xbox didn't come out in 05, so this was late PS2 era, mid PS2 era. It was a short generation. Yeah. So PS2, Xbox.
Yeah, it wasn't last year. It was the
Dreamcast was already phased out, but was GameStop still selling used Dreamcast stuff?
I believe they were still selling. This is back when they were selling Super Nintendo, like all that old stuff.
Okay, when it was still like Funkoland.
Old stuff, and they had everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure they had Dreamcast.
Well, I remember even like in 03 going to GameStops, like they would have there was a display case that had like Final Fantasy 3 in it, and old games.
Yeah.
Then they chucked that, and now they're selling it again. Like they have a retro part of GameStop. So I don't think you've even talked about this like on the Mega64 podcast. But yeah, you used to work at GameStop. Can you tell me what this was like?
It was nice. I didn't mind it. It was holiday, so it was jam packed all the time.
Was it just for the holiday period?
Yeah, I only worked for the holiday period and then went back to school and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was just definitely like it's a GameStop during the holidays. So it was jam packed. Everybody's asking questions and stuff. So it was a lot of work, but you got to play with video games, stuff like that. So
Do you remember what like the big titles were in 03?
03, Mario Kart Double Dash.
Ooh, okay.
That was coming out. I remember that was such a big release during like stuff like that. Yeah.
What were some of the nice like perks with GameStop?
Perks with GameStop were like you could try out the games and stuff like that.
Try
them out.
Product research.
They and basically they want you to know about video games so that you can basically play any video game you want.
Yeah, you could rent games. I remember
employees could rent games from GameStop.
Back when Blockbuster was a thing, I remember as a kid being in awe. I really wanted to work at Blockbuster because they had that same policy. You could rent any movie you want, rent any game you want. And in my head it was like, I could have unlimited games for free. It didn't even enter my mind if I got a job at Blockbuster, I could have enough money to buy games.
The games.
It was just, if I worked there, they can give me all the games.
You don't even have to pay me.
And so I really wanted to work at Blockbuster for the longest time. And then by the time I graduated high school, it was all shutting down.
Yeah.
So that was always that's so funny to me. Like, I never thought about it, but I wanted to work at GameStop or Blockbuster just so I could rent movies for free. Not even thinking I would have money if I had a job. Mm-hmm. But so that was cool.
Exactly.
Were there any other neat perks with GameStop?
The one big perk is I met Rocco at GameStop.
Oh yeah.
He came in one day and told me about Mega64. And
was this even before? Did they have the trailer?
They had
out?
2 videos.
Yeah.
The trailer. There was the opening of the show and Shenmue. That was it.
How did Rocco how did that friendship strike?
He knew the manager there. Yeah. They had a history together and stuff like that. So he was talking to my manager about filming and stuff like that, and I overheard and I was asking about it, and he says, "Oh yeah, it's Mega64," and I vividly remember I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go home and Google that," and I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't remember the name. I'm just like, was it Ultra 64? And I'm like, then I found it, and and the rest is history.
Did Google exist back in 03? I guess.
Yeah, it did.
It's so funny, but I feel like that wasn't in the dictionary.
No, it wasn't
I'm gonna.
It's still new.
God, in 2003, I think I was still in junior high.
Yeah.
I was still using Alta Vista. Really? Google wasn't
You're a Netscape Navigator, Alta Vista.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves. When I was in elementary school, it was Ask Jeeves because I just thought, well, he has the answers. Ask Jeeves, and then in 03 I had Yahoo, so I used Yahoo. It wasn't until 05, 06 did people started really switching over to Google. But yeah, so you looked it up on on Google. Yeah. And you had to download the WMVs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, how did you further get involved with Mega64?
Basically, after talking with Rocco and stuff like that, checking out, and this was before the forums were even available. Yeah. I think the forums came out just after that, a month or two after. Yeah. And they would, I would start talking to on AIM, things like AIM. Yeah. And then there'd be call outs for we need somebody to help, and then I would go, I'd be down, and it's just more and more and more of that. And then, now I work here.
Yeah, there you go. Before we get further into Mega64, I want to touch on a few more things with GameStop.
Yeah.
Were there any things you hated working that job at, with GameStop?
I'm trying to think of something. The customers kind of sucked, especially when they would just be disgruntled. And the all-time, this popped in my head, all-time worst, and it's still probably the same today. People pissed at trade-in amounts.
Oh yeah.
That will always be. They'll bring in the oldest, worst game, and you'll go, yeah, we'll give you 50 cents for this. Like, what?
I paid $60.
I paid $60 for it, and it's the worst game.
Oh yeah.
And it's we couldn't we might as well throw it away. We're not going to be able to sell it. And they forget it. I'm not going to do it.
And people would act so entitled, oh, you're turning me down. This is where you're making a fool's mistake. I worked at a movie theater, and it is where that's entitlement when customers come up as if well, I'm never coming here again. It's you're talking to a minimum wage employee who does not care.
Does not care if he ever sees you again.
And that's the other thing too. My movie theater had such a high turnover rate. Customers would be like, well, I'm never coming here again. I feel like there's a better chance of the customer returning than the employee returning. Kids quit so fast, holiday employees. They don't care. There's no allegiance to companies.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that was something you kind of solidified in me early on. When I was in high school, I was such an idiot. I used to sell all my games. I've talked about this on the show a lot.
That's because I went through that first. Yeah. And then I realized, and then I'm I need to partake my knowledge onto you.
I think the last time I sold something, and I remember I was huge into achievements when Xbox 360 came out. I remember like spending a whole afternoon trying to get an achievement in Hitman Blood Money, like a professional achievement where you had to like do a level perfectly.
Yeah.
I remember trying over and over again, try to beat this, and I wasn't great at video games back then, but like trying to get this, I failed it after like 40 minutes of trying to sneak through this thing. I remember getting so mad, and my thought was, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sell this game," and that was my revenge. It wasn't like, because this is also before you could just go on YouTube and look how to get these things easily. So I was having to use GameFAQs and stuff like that. So I remember being so mad. That was my revenge. I'm gonna sell this game. Fuck this fucking game. And then yeah, sure enough, like a few months later, I was like, well, I want to play Hitman. Well, okay.
Yeah. Now you have to go buy it again. Yeah.
Now everything has been re-released. There's like now like the PS3, the PS Plus had it for free, the Hitman HD collection. But yeah, that was my like thing. Oh my god, just thinking about it makes me angry. Is just like, yeah, I would like have a bad mood one day. Fuck, I'm gonna sell this game, and then I'd get 50 cents, and then like...
Yeah, it sucks because the collection I showed,
that was
like after selling my collection twice.
Oh, totally.
It's like I would just sell all these games. Like when I got my original Xbox, I was like, I can't afford this.
Yeah.
It was 2001, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I have all these games. I'll just trade them in. Oh my god, I had so many Dreamcast games. I had a brand new Dreamcast that I traded in. I regret it so much, so that's why.
Yeah, I traded in my... Yeah, like every generation would come out, I would sell the old stuff. So yeah, when like... Yeah, like when PS2 came out, buy PS1 games, like you know, like I would sell so much of that stuff out. Yeah, like when GameCube, buy like N64, like all this stuff would just get thrown out, like an idiot. And then finally that stopped. But yeah, I feel like Kevin was the one who really curved that in me early, because you would just say I'm never gonna sell anything, and I was like, wait, what? And then sure enough, I struck that, and it's been good ever since. GameStop today, it's funny. Like gamers, whatever, like hate GameStop. They hate on GameStop.
Just to be fair, I don't set foot in a GameStop anymore.
And like it's weird because like they've monopolized the thing, and they kind of have hurt local businesses. There used to be a cool GameStop in my town called Games for You.
Yeah.
A GameStop opened up like down the street, and then that place closed down.
That sucks.
But like I don't think GameStop is terrible. What I hate about GameStop is like just like overzealous employees, like employees who push the pre-order stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I go to GameStop, like I work mostly as a freelance editor, so I have like weekdays off. So whenever I go to GameStop, it's like Monday at 12. There's no kids in there. It's just I'm the only one in there. And it's 50-50. Sometimes it'll be another employee working who's just stocking games, like, oh hey, welcome. That's the best case scenario. Worst case, it is quiet. It is dead. I walk in. Person comes out of the counter. Hi, welcome to GameStop. Hey, we have a new Gears of War. Would you like to pre-order it? Hey, you're looking over at PS3. They just won't shut up. And I'll just, like, it makes me so uncomfortable. And I get it. It's slow. They have to do their business. But it's like, I like it when it's busier and I can just blend in the shadows.
Yeah. When I worked at GameStop and later on at Best Buy, they tell it like, hey, try to push these things, try to push these subscriptions and stuff like that. And I knew from past experience, I hated that.
Hate it.
So I made it a point to never, ever promote or try to buy, because I knew how much I would help the customer. I'd ask if they needed help, but I would never go, hey, do you like try to push subscription stuff? They hated me for that. But I was just like, I made it a point. I'm like, customers hate this. I hate this. I'm not doing it.
The worst. It's not even like terrible, like this wasn't awful, but like I think like the most like the dumbest thing that I have in mind of like kind of like upselling a pre-order is I was buying a PS3 game. I found like LA Noire for like $3 at GameStop. Like I go into GameStop maybe once a month, just whenever like I'm in nearby, I'll walk in just to see what cheap ass random used games they have.
Yeah.
And if it so I
that is fun to do. I did that with you before.
I go essentially like going through the bargain bin and get stuff for $1. So they had LA Noire for $3. Like, okay, great. I want to, bought it. So I'm checking out this $3 PS3 game, and the employee's like, oh, would you like to buy a PS4 today? And Josie was with me, my girlfriend, and she just said, oh, we have 2 at home.
Yeah.
And like the guy just...
That reminds me. Remember when I bought that like 85-cent game or 50-cent game at GaMstop, and they asked me if I wanted a replacement plan for it. Like, it was like, it's a 50-cent game. Like, do you want to no, I don't.
That's the dumbest thing too. That happens all the time at Best Buy. The people at Best Buy are usually like my age, so they like they don't ever try to really sell it, but they have to ask. But yeah, when you buy a game at Best Buy, oh, do you want a protection plan for this? Like $5 more. And it's like, if you're a smart consumer, like, no. But imagine if you're a grandmother or a mom, like, buying it for your son. It's like, oh, well, sure. And I know GameStop does that a lot, too. Oh, you got to get the strategy guide, and again, like, they don't make money off customers like us, but yeah, imagine just like the mothers and people are buying stuff for their children or whatever. It's just like, yeah, they just bleed people out. Like
I know.
That. It's so lame.
Yeah.
And then I remember another time at GameStop, I was like, again, I have all the systems, so I walk around like just looking for stuff.
Yeah.
I was in the 360 section looking at games, and then I was at the PS3 section looking at games, and an employee was like, "Wow, you have both systems?" And like, that does make me sound like an entitled rich asshole, but like, this was like today. This was like a few months ago, so it wasn't like.
Yeah.
Like,
when I first started collecting, I made it a point. I'm just like, I want to be able to walk into a GameStop back when I shopped at GameStop, be able to walk into GameStop and can get anything.
Yeah.
And so I had like a Dreamcast. This is back when Dreamcast and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I had a Dreamcast. I had all these, and I'm like, I can walk in and pick a game from any system. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love that.
No limitations.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that I'm finally at the point, like this happened earlier this year, the beginning of the year, January, post-Christmas, I went to like a local PC shop, Micro Center in Orange County. It's awesome. I recommend it. They had like out of box like returns of PCs. I bought a mega gaming computer because it was out of box. I got a really good deal on it.
Yeah.
So now because I have this mega PC, I have all the current gen systems. I can now play anything I want, with the exception of like Oculus and like Vive. That's the new thing. I'll get PSVR, but outside of that, I can play anything I want. With PC, I can emulate everything up to like PS2 and GameCube, and then I have all like modern systems.
That's
and, like,
what's kind of pushing me to kind of maybe build a PC or something,
It's
because
for
we both have
$1,000
Macs,
Yeah.
and the PC gaming, it exists with Steam, but it's so limited. I've been thinking, because every time I want to play an old PC game I had played when I was a kid, I can't. So
it's worth the investment, and that's the thing too. I feel like I never stepped into PC because it's like, well, I don't have an Xbox One yet. I don't have a PS4. You know, it's like, I just grew up as a console gamer, so it's like I want to take care of that first. And then when I got to the point where I have everything, it's like, well, I can't play. You know, I had a Mac, and I still use a Mac for video editing, but like, I would always bookmark games on Steam, hoping one day it'll come to Mac. It never would.
They stopped. It used to be every Wednesday. They would come out with new Mac games.
Yeah.
But that ended.
That program
years
died.
ago.
And now a lot of indie games. But there were so many PC games I wanted to play that would never come out. So finally I bought a PC. And it's funny now, more and more, I'm like starting to convert just to be a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Like, I still love first party exclusive through Sony, but like I love PC gaming now. I get, and like you don't collect physical stuff, but like it just I'm finally like, I'll still play everything, but I'm finally in that camp now where it's like I understand it. But it's worth investing in PC. I like have this. I downloaded a torrent of every single arcade game ever. So I have like 3,000 arcade games. I can plug in an arcade stick and I can play Street Fighter, Final Fight, anything. As I think I mentioned this last podcast, but like this makes me feel like a millionaire. I can play any arcade game. Like I love it. GameCube games, PS2 games, you can emulate, so I can download any PS2 game I want. I'm gonna play like Silent Hill 4: The Room later this month. When you emulate these older games, if you have a nice graphics card, it looks like crisp HD. So it is.
See, I'm a collector. I want a wall of games, so I don't do that. Like, I want the Silent Hill 2: The Room. I'm like, that's along with all the other Silent Hills.
You do
boom,
have it.
right there.
I'm split. If it's cheap enough and I really want it, but I like that I can take a gamble with some of these shitty games. So I am looking forward to that. But yeah, so we covered GameStop. Really, let me check real fast. Yeah. So we covered GameStop. So now tying back to what we were talking about. So because you worked at GameStop, you got to meet Rocco. And just that interaction, like, oh, what's Mega64? Blah, blah, blah. We started working more and more. It's funny because, like, I was on the same page with you. It was like, we both kind of met Rocco. Not even like, it wasn't like we were fans of Mega64 first and then met Rocco. It was like we met Rocco and then like, oh, what is this thing you do? And so, like, with me, I was introduced to Rocco through the Aquabats. I was at Comic-Con one year, and Tyler Jacobs was like, oh, check out Mega64. They use Aquabats music. And so I like, oh, what is this? And just through that. And same thing, through AIM.
Which I don't even use anymore.
They don't even use anymore, which I love all the sound effects and everything. But I just started talking to Rocco through AIM. I can't even remember. His AIM and name, our screen names. But like, I just started talking to him like, hey, this is really good. I like your stuff. Oh, thanks. By the way, we're filming. Just through that, slowly trickled into just working out more and more with them. But as a fan, even before you started working through them, like, what was like some of your favorite videos of yours that was like you realized early on that this was something like special that you wanted to be a part of?
Really, I like early on. I was like, this is cool. This is like Jackass with video games.
Yeah.
Even before they had a fan base, I'm just like, I just want to have fun doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if anybody doesn't see this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Like, and so it was just feeling like the first thing I think involved myself with was Paperboy.
Yeah.
I think I was in a Splinter Cell video just in the background because I happened to be there when they showed up.
When they threw like it was like the Chaos Theory, just crazy video, right?
They had a bunch of them and stuff like that, and I just happened to be in front of a Walmart on my phone because I was just happened to be shopping at Walmart and they showed up. But the first time I was actually involved with a video was Paperboy.
Yeah.
And I was the RC car guy, so I brought an RC car and things like that, and it was so much. Just stayed up all night playing games at one of their houses, and then going till dawn out in front of the house, just playing, like, just messing around and stuff like that, and then finally it was so much fun. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah,
like,
I first discovered Mega64 again through pre-YouTube, but like when version 1 came out, I bought it, I liked it, but yeah, like the skits were like I loved, and then like version 2 came out, but like it's funny, the Splinter Cell videos, I think that was some of the earliest online stuff where I loved, and like the Metal Gear Solid video. But I remember there was one video I saw particularly that like made me buy a shirt. Like I bought the DVD, but like for whatever reason, the Cold Fear video where they're jumping out of like the freezers in Costco. Yeah. That like and the Gunther Gallopant stuff. That stuff. And it's funny because like there's new Mega 64 fans. I don't know how deep into the archives they go, but like the humor evolves, but like there's different like eras and like just like the early stuff where it was so small. The pre-YouTube stuff had this magical charm because this is before cell phone cameras existed, so people weren't used to people filming in public. Yeah. So you just had this different
iPhone was not out, like
So just even filming like in a Costco was like, how'd they do that? Like, it was crazy, and like you just get these genuine reactions that were so amazing.
And YouTube was nothing, so it's not like, oh, this is just a YouTube video, stuff like that. Nobody had any idea. Yeah. It's totally new.
But yeah, the Cold Fear video I loved, and then when I was in high school, like the Backyard Messiahs, like loved just super silly and fun. Yep. And it's funny when you watch this video now, like it's like amateur isn't the word, but you can just see how like rudimentary the like just like the quality of filmmaking is. Like, oh, this is so simple, but like they're still having fun. They're like, but now compared to like then and then the quality. Yeah. But yeah, Backyard Messiahs, good video. Check it out. Check out Timbo.
Just fun filming.
Yeah. The first time I got involved was like, I remember just messaging through AIM. Oh yeah, like the Freeze Pop music video, Brain Power. That was like one of the first times I was like featured in a video. But even before then, like, Rocco invited me to like come check out like a version 3 premiere.
Yeah, at his house. I remember that. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, it's just over the time started working with them more and more. What's your favorite video that you've been in?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like,
for me, I think this was like the first video you were featured in, but the Ghost Recon video.
Oh, that was the first time I was ever like front and center. I was the main character of the thing.
I just liked that because it was you, but didn't you have to roll down a hill in that video?
Yeah, multiple times, maybe 5 times, because they needed to get the shot, and they used the first one. I got scratched up. Oh, I remember I got scratched up and stuff like that.
I just remember like I just like the guy that cracks me up is like, oh, there's cougar tracks.
Yep. And then I just bolt. I couldn't time it right. To secret, I couldn't time it right, so I had to have Derek clapped, and he's like, when I clap, just run.
There you go. So I learned that comedic timing. Yep. That video cracked me up. Post people in the chat, what's your favorite video that Kevin's been in? Yeah. I was thinking, like, the sun's so stupid. Again, when I was driving down here, I was thinking, like, the thing that's funny with Kevin is, like, you're behind the camera a lot of the time. Yeah. So most of the time. People don't really know you that much. Like, you're on screen sometimes, but, like, they don't know you so much. It's not like you're a private, secretive guy, but you're just, like, more behind the scenes. But, like, I was thinking, like, John C. Reilly is, like, one of my favorite actors. And, like, he was on a Mark Maron episode of his podcast. And he talked about, like, he keeps his life private. And he says that makes him more of an effective actor in his mind because, like, when people see John C. Reilly, they're not bringing into, oh, John C. Reilly is this, like, super Democrat, liberal politician. Yeah. Like, because people don't know who John C. Reilly is, whenever they see John C. Reilly in a movie, he can be anybody. Yeah. And I feel like that's your strength. Like, you're not even like, you don't even want to grow up to be an actor or anything. But, like, whenever you're a Mega64 video, you kind of have this blank slate that you can fit into anything. Yeah. And so it's like, I feel like that's like what's really effective with Kevin in videos. You can just be anything and anyone, and just like it's just really, you just have this calm, neutral state. And I think that works really well. Over the past few years, as Mega64's evolved, got this nice studio, and with the Patreon and stuff. Yeah. So like you had like an office job like 2 years ago. Or
Yeah,
3
I
years
worked
ago.
in HVAC, that's air conditioning and stuff
hell
like
yeah,
that.
dude, that's cool.
I worked in that, and it was an office job,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it kept interfering with
Yeah.
Mega64 over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't go to a convention, couldn't
Yeah.
go because of this, and so I was just like, I'm sorry, like I gotta quit, like, and so I quit before I even had a job here, just because I managed and everything like that, and so I was like, I can do this, and if I need to get another job, that's so be it. I just didn't want to work there anymore, it freed up so much stuff with Mega64 that I just started being here more often, filming, and then it turned into the job I have now, which I love.
Yeah. So what are all like the roles you do here at Mega64?
I basically do merch, and I handle like all the business emails, things like that. And I plan the conventions. Like if we need the conventions, if we need booth space, hotel, flights, and stuff like that, I cover all that. And then that's on top of doing all the things I normally do, helping out filming, acting, stuff like that.
Yeah, so Kevin is like a coordinator, takes care of all the business stuff. And you do merch now. You took that over for Garrett and Sean.
Yep.
What's I still don't know how. I know how to like mail a letter. I don't know how to ship stuff. Like
it's pretty easy. It's just when there's a lot of orders, it just it becomes like, oh no, it's a ton, but like we have it down to a T now. It's super easy.
I feel like there should be a high school class that teaches you like life's essentials, how to mail a package, how to do taxes, how to just do any adult stuff, like some of this stuff, even like how to go to the DMV or like there's like I had to like sign up for auto insurance recently, and I felt like a child like going like I've had auto insurance before. I'm not a dangerous driver, but it was on my dad's plan, but I had to get my own auto insurance, and just like I don't know. There's all these like things, these holes in like the corporate world where I never knew how to do these things, and like I'm learning it, but it's like, where was high school for that? I did taxes. I don't know. Yeah. I will release my tax return if people ask. Don't worry. But yeah, I just don't know how to do a lot of these things. Yeah. But I guess that's part of the thing too. Like, not just with the Mega64, but like in jobs in the corporate world, you do have to kind of fake it or whatever until like, and then
fake
like
it till you make it.
Yeah, and then you can ask for help, which is nice. But like. Yeah, I've had like I've been working like an office, like not an office job, but like a pretty like adult job the past 2 years, and like kind of jumped in, but now it's like I'm like getting more confident.
My last job, I was not qualified for it whatsoever. Yeah, but I learned. I jumped in, and it was kind of rough at first, but I became very good at it. Yeah. And you just gotta jump in, man.
One thing you do a lot with Mega64, even like not solo, but like on smaller teams, you go to like all the conventions and like you help set up and do merch and stuff. As someone who is on that like convention grind, do you still like enjoy going to conventions and checking stuff out? Or?
I love conventions. I still, in terms of checking the con out, there's really not much for me. Yeah. Like there may be a game that usually it's like a demo.
Companies like recycle stuff. So it's like
I see the same things over and over again. Yeah. But occasionally there's a demo, but usually it's a demo for a game that I'm gonna buy anyway. Yeah. So I don't spend a lot of time in checking out the convention, but man, working the booth is so much fun. Meeting fans, selling stuff, just talking with people. Hanging out.
It's the people that make the conventions.
The people make the conventions.
Not like the product. Yeah. And like yeah, because I used to go to every convention. Like, I went to Comic-Con in 04, 05, 06, 07. Yeah. But then, like, 2008 was like, I want to go to PAX. And then I went to PAX, and then it's like, well, I want to go to... There's a convention that's since been retired, E for All. Yeah. It's like shitty.
That was in the in-between years when E3 went, okay, we're done. Yeah. We're not doing it. And then they came in and filled in for a couple of years.
I had fun, but then the second year was like, okay, well, like, and I just started going to all these conventions. I want to go to PAX East. I want to go to, PAX. Like, I just started going to all these conventions. And then, I quickly realized, like, wait, this is the same shit. I'm spending more time going to conventions and actually playing games. And I remember just making this checklist where it's like, well, I could stay home this weekend and beat this game, or I could go fly to a convention, pay all this money to try a demo. Like, so I just like cooled it. And like, even like I didn't go to PAX East this year. I went to Comic-Con for a day. So it's like
I go because it's my job now and stuff like that. Yeah. The first convention I ever went to was Comic-Con 2004, and that was only because Mega64 was there, and that was it.
I went because Newgrounds.com was there, so there you
go. But I don't think I've been to a convention that hasn't had a Mega64 presence ever. So that they started, that's the reason I go, and that's always been the reason I've gone since.
You guys should get a booth at BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. If you've never been to a video game convention, go. PAX is fun. It's worth checking out. But yeah, you don't need to go to everyone unless you're getting paid for it. But yeah, it's funny. I was going to all these conventions and still paying for it, and I was like, this isn't fun. But yeah, go to a convention once. Go to a Mega64 convention. Yeah. What's been your favorite moment, like, working with Mega64? Like, just what's been your favorite, just experience?
Just favorite experience is probably just meeting so many new
Yeah.
people. Meeting other people working in the same industry, things like that. It's, again, like I said before, the people are amazing. Like, meeting somebody at, like, a after party or something like that and getting to know them, and then just, like, they want to collaborate and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, not only, like, meeting fans is awesome, and, like, that's a cool thing. Like, fans become friends.
Yeah.
It's unanimous.
But also meeting fellow industry
that's
people
the
and stuff
coolest
like
thing.
that.
I mean, it sounds such a reverse thing. The cool thing would be like, oh, meeting industry people is cool, but the fans, both are equally great.
They're awesome.
It is a cool experience, though, getting to meet, like, Kojima and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Plus, it's other people that run booths because it's like a traveling family.
Yeah, it's almost like a
where
circus.
you see them only at, like, we have
like
people.
Convention, like people like at the Behemoth or even like Sand. Yeah, it is cool seeing like just the people. People who aren't necessarily like the industry like celebrities. And, like, not just the fans, but, the people who work the other booths.
You only see them at these conventions, stuff like that. And, like,
that's how you get friends with Rooster Teeth.
We have people at, like, Comic-Con. We only go to Comic-Con once a year. We only see them once a year for that weekend.
Yeah.
But we're just, like, we're hugging
and
when we
funny,
show up. It's like a family.
Yeah, like, I know, like someone like Barbara from Rooster Teeth. I don't follow Rooster Teeth at all.
Yeah.
But, like, I know some of the Rooster Teeth people just when it's like, oh, these conventions.
Yeah.
And that's, like, friendship only exists through that. And it's like, okay, yeah. But, it is, because you do get to share that kind of weird experience.
Yeah.
So that is kind of neat. So video game conventions. I used to like be kind of a hoarder with swag, and it got to a point where it's like, this is all useless. I don't care, and I threw it all out.
I did the same exact thing. I used to, whenever I go to Comic-Con, I'm just like, oh, freebies.
Yeah,
and then one year, it was the most liberating thing. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
this is all garbage.
Yep.
I don't care. And I didn't even bring a backpack. I
used to bring backpacks.
I just walked in.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome because it was just like, I don't have a big bag of stuff. I don't care because it's just all thrown in the garbage later.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth anything.
Earlier you had mentioned we talked about PC gaming. So you and I are both unique because all of our friends on our little Skype crew all had PCs and like decent gaming PCs.
Yeah, and we're the two Mac dudes.
We had Macs, which was like, nowadays there's enough stuff on Mac. You need to have a beefier machine to run it, but like there's more stuff on Mac. You still can't play a lot of it, but like, we were on Macs in like 2010. And I remember when Steam announced, Steam is coming to Mac.
Oh, that was such a big deal.
And then it was like, you could play Portal, Counter-Strike Source, thank God, that's like one of the best games of all time. Yeah. And like World of Goo. Like there was like,
it was limited.
It was like they had a big announcement. You could finally play games on Mac. And it was like 10 games. And every week they had Mac Wednesdays, whatever, and it'd be like a crappy indie game.
Yeah.
Library grew, and now it's just indie games, and like there's some stuff, but like it was so underwhelming.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Counter-Strike Source was playable.
We played that a ton. We played Killing Floor.
Killing Floor
was fun.
So like that's the one thing, and like I think that is the one thing I love with Xbox. What made Xbox Live great, especially over PS2 Online, was like packed in with a microphone.
Yeah, just so you could always talk.
Talking with friends that revolutionized it, and like. After Xbox 360 died out, and like actually as games just became unanimous, where like, oh, we can play a PS3 game online, Xbox Live game. The community wasn't just tied to one platform, and so a lot of my friends, we started playing video games on Skype together, and even different games on Skype, and like that was fun. But our circle, like we played so much Counter-Strike Source, playing all these custom maps,
and we never really played like the traditional maps like Dust or anything like that.
Surfing,
we would go, we would go to the custom-made maps that had weird rules, and they were so much fun.
Yeah, and like you can still do that, but like it's we're talking about like Spencer and Connor, our circle, like
I think they were on an episode of
but we would just play like just stupid ass stuff, and then Killing Floor, and like those are my favorite memories, and like I still do that today. It's just playing. That's the thing I love with like cheap online games. It doesn't matter if the game is good or bad.
Yeah.
Just getting all your friends together playing playing the same game and just breaking it and doing stupid stuff.
It's just so fun.
It's like that's what it is. Just playing whatever game. That's how like Mad Bows, Bad Bows.
Yep. We all have that.
Mad Balls, Babbo Invasion. We all played it. It's like that's what it was. It was a game on Mac. That's why we bought it.
Because it was for Mac.
It was for Mac. So it's like finally something we played.
We were so bummed when Worms came out for Mac, and we all bought Worms, and it says, "Oh yeah, it's all works for Mac, but you can't." Only Mac people can play Mac people.
That was the worst thing.
It wasn't cross multiplayer, and it's like
Worms came out.
We
bam,
never played it again.
New Worms Armageddon, Mac and PC. We all bought it, and then we tried playing multiplayer. Kevin and I could play together. Spencer and Connor could play together. We couldn't play together.
Yeah, that's the
insane.
worst. Yeah,
and so we never played it. So
nope.
it's like, but now I have a gaming PC. I'm in heaven.
I regret that. I'm really
It's worth it. That's the thing too. If you're not planning to do like break ground, actually it's like $1,000. You can play anything you want.
Yeah.
But like even if you just spend $1,000, you can play anything from like today and the last 30 years. You know, you don't have like if you can spend a lot and future proof it. But like, yeah, you don't need to spend that much money to play whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that was my philosophy. By the time I bought a gaming computer in January 2016, I can play anything I want up to the year like 2015 with max graphics.
Yeah.
That is like 20 years of video games.
Yep.
I'm okay like for, you know.
I had to, there's a game on PC that I really wanted to play.
Yeah.
Because it's October and it's scary. And I had to install it on the computer here, so I just play it like after work sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there's a game I wanted to, like, before I bought a gaming PC, I had such a huge list of like PC games I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I would try doing stuff like installing software on my Mac to boot Windows.
Yeah.
It would never work. And then I got a gaming PC and played a ton of stuff. Like there's some random gems. Like there's a game for PC called Shogo.
Really?
Or it's called Shogun. And it's an American-made game, but it is a hyper 90s anime game. It was made in 1998. You play a kid and you pilot a mech.
Okay.
And it's a first-person shooter going through like Neo Tokyo, and you're just shooting other mechs, and like it looks like Half-Life, but it's super anime. And like I just want to play these weird games that you couldn't even. It's the thing that sucks. There's all these 90s Windows games that like, you know, our iPhones are way more powerful.
Yeah.
But they just don't work on Mac, and you can't emulate it. And it's like, so getting a game PC, I could download anything I want, but it is worth making the plunge.
Yeah, I think I might.
Yeah. Speaking of, you talk about playing a spooky horror game. It is October, and this is always the time when, like, I like playing horror games all year round, as a guy to me.
But I specifically like them more right now.
I do know, like, you love Resident Evil 4.
Love it. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Beat it probably 15, 20 times now.
How did you work yourself up to playing those Resident Evil games on what's the hardest? Platinum? Is that the hardest?
Oh yeah,
what is it called?
I think it's
Survival, professional.
Yeah, professional. That's it.
How did you work your way up? Because even playing Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3, whatever, but like Resident Evil 4, even on regular difficulty, I am so tense and nervous. How the hell?
It's gotten to a point where I'm so robotic with that game that tension is non-existent. I'm just like, okay, that enemy's always right there.
Mastered it.
Yeah, and one of the few games I've like mastered, and I beat I think I got every trophy too.
Yeah.
On the Xbox 360 release of Resident Evil 4, and the only reason, and I've never tried it without it, but that was ported from the, I think, PS2 version, and it was upscaled. That let you, if you beat it, you could change. They gave you more costumes. One of the costumes was a suit of armor for Ashley, and that way you don't have to worry about her at all, and you can use that for professional.
Wow. Okay.
So when I played professional, I did not have to worry about Ashley whatsoever.
Okay, cool.
It was still hard as hell because you get no ammo and stuff like that. But in terms of her getting picked up, taken away, or killed, that it was out of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games of all time, and like I know they just re-released 4, 5, and 6. I can't remember if this was confirmed or not. I think they're going to be releasing a triple pack. Of all the games.
I wanted like. I love the way it looks right now because I just bought like the Origins color or whatever that has 0 and 1,
cool.
and that's so I have everything except for 2, 3, and Code Veronica, and 2 is being remade right now. 3 and Code Veronica, I don't think is ever going to get a re-release.
No,
they did an HD one on
so
PS3.
Lost,
but in terms of getting a physical release of those, I don't see that ever happening. I'm hoping like Black Friday, the H4 remake will be like $5. Yeah,
that's the cool thing. There's like these budget physical games coming out that.
Yeah, I loved it because it was $15 on Amazon with Prime.
Yeah,
like,
that's the cool thing with PSVR games. They're like coming out at $20 a pop. So I bought Batman VR and Blood Until Dawn or whatever. $15. Okay, I'll take a gamble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to talk about like horror games specifically. Like, what has been the most scared you've been playing video games? Most of my memories are as a kid, and I'll get into it. But playing Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, like 05, whenever it came out, I was like maybe 11.
Yeah.
No. I would have been like 12 or 13. I was terrified. Specifically, there's the part where you're in the cathedral, and I guess like there's these pathways with water. Do you know what I'm talking about? I guess that's just a thing where it's an endless shooting gallery. I remember getting to that point being so terrified because I was using up all my ammo, running around trying to get it to it, and like there's Ashley you have to look forward to. But I just remember that was the most tense I felt playing a video game because I was like, they just wouldn't stop coming. I didn't know how much ammo I'd have.
That like I say that I'm robotic now.
Yeah.
When I first played that game, I was scared out of my mind.
Oh my God.
Because it's just like you're trapped in it, then you hear a chainsaw guy and you're like, okay, I gotta go over here, and then he busts through the door and he's chasing you. And
well,
stuff.
even the tension in the opening courtyard, the courtyard shootout.
Yeah.
Also, the first time you play Resident Evil 4, you don't know the cheat or like the tip of shoot them in the leg in roundhouse. That makes the game easy.
Yeah.
When you're playing the first time, you don't also. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Resident Evil 4 is ubiquitous and everyone knows about it, and so history. Going from Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 4, you thought it was going to be the slow-paced thing.
Yeah, no,
immediately the courtyard thing. Things are endless. This, like, really, it's like going from, like, horse and buggy to, like, it's such an evolution.
Yeah.
That first time, it's so exhilarating when you play it. It's like you're running around, you can quick turn, things are constantly coming up at you, running around the house for ammo, going on top. Like, it is so goddamn incredible.
Yeah.
It was so tense playing that game the first time.
Yeah.
Other memories being terrified as a kid, playing the original Resident Evil. I'd be the kind of person where, and I think like use a cheat code to like double your ink ribbons and ammo, but like I would solve a puzzle, immediately run back, save. Okay, I'd go out, I picked up an item, run back, save.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified of dying. The other most terrifying time was playing Silent Hill. Specifically, when I got Silent Hill the first time I rented it from Blockbuster, I didn't have a memory card.
Really?
So can you?
Oh God.
Can you imagine trying to play
The scare
Silent Hill?
level just heightens with that.
If I die, I have to start all over because I didn't have a memory card. I remember I left my PlayStation all weekend on. I got I beat like the nightmare level of the school. So like the first chunk of the game, and then I had to turn it back to Blockbuster. I beat it years later, but like playing Silent Hill the first time. Also, I love the opening of Silent Hill where you die.
Yeah.
Like that blew my mind, and like. Also, like, you're in the cafe where the pterodactyl comes in. Like, everything about the game, the radio. That game is so terrifying. And I love how it works in its favor. If you play it today, like, the lo-fi graphics and the fog, it, like, makes it even eerier.
Yeah. I've always felt like Resident Evil and Silent Hill have been two of my favorite series of all time. Metal Gear 2, but that's not really scary.
Yeah.
But I've always felt like Resident Evil's always scared me, but it's always just been like, okay, there's zombies. That's kind of like, it's always quiet and you hear a droning moan and
it's a different kind of horror. It is that kind of cheesy B-movie, like it's monsters. Yeah. And like, it's fun and
Silent
scary.
Hill gets into your head. It's psychological. So that was always the scarier games to me. Was that, and I didn't play the first one until I played the second. Second one was the first one I ever played. And I loved it. That's one of the best games of all time. That is the best in the series, hands down.
I think that's one of the top 10 video games of all time.
Yeah, I love Silent Hill 2. Yeah. And I played that a ton, and then I was like, okay, I'll try one. And I played it, and it was kind of stepping back, so I didn't like it as much because I'd already played the best one in the series. Yeah. But I've played every Silent Hill game.
It's also a weird thing too, the Silent Hill series, how 3 is the sequel to 1. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's awesome. I think it's a great story.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, not many games can do that successfully where it's like, hey, we're gonna do the sequel to this game from like. I think that's cool how they kind of went out of this order. Yes, but I love that Silent Hill 2 stands on its own. Yeah. When I got my Xbox, I got the Jet Set Radio Sega GT 2002 combo pack. So I had Jet Set Radio and like the racing game, and then I got Silent Hill 2. I remember that was the most jarring thing because I played Silent Hill 2 for a bit, and then I would unwind with Jet Set Radio, the most complete other world.
It's funny because I consider that version the Restless Dreams version, the definitive version of the game, because it's up-res as much as the Xbox can do, and it has the extra levels and stuff like that, because the HD re-release, it did not up to my standards. It wasn't even the creator of the game, because I've read that the version of the game that they found, they couldn't find the finished version of Silent Hill 2. They had to take a older version, older like beta version of the game, and up-res that and try to fix the bugs as they're going. So it was so buggy and stuff like that. The fact that they couldn't find the gold version of the game bummed me out, because that would have been so good if it was that version.
But I mean, that's the great thing. Those games do hold up, because I recently replayed Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, maybe like 3 years ago. Yeah. And I played them all in the span of a week, and God, that's the thing I love about those games too. And what's hard to do nowadays, because nowadays Resident Evil 7 comes in, they have to just build onto this giant franchise and retcon all this stupid history. But the first time you played Resident Evil, or even especially Silent Hill, this lore and this mystery, and this was before the internet, so stuff just wasn't crammed in your face. Yep. But getting strategy guides just to read every note in the game, just digging into those mysteries. And I talk about this with Garrett. the SD Perry books of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with the backstory.
Yep.
I remember like being enthusiastic to my dad, being like, "Oh, I was obsessed with the world Resident Evil set up."
Like
and Silent Hill. Yeah.
Like I remember before Resident Evil 4 came out, Resident Evil 2 was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it was amazing. And then when the book came out, it was like that big.
They went deep into Chief Byron's history.
I loved it because it went into so much more detail with the story that I was eating it up. That's one of my favorite video game adaptations.
Hey, one of the best books of all time. Sorry, Hemingway.
Sorry.
Make room for SD Perry. Oh, that'd be a great video. Okay, that's a great video. I love those SD Perry books. But yeah, Silent Hill was great. Like the richness of the cults and stuff. I started getting into. I talked about this a few times, but I started like reading more this year. Whatever like reason. As an adult now, I'm able to kind of like appreciate books. This sounds so stupid, but like I'm finding my time reading more. I'm just enjoying it more. And so I'm starting to get into Stephen King. I was throwing trash away in my neighborhood, and outside my dumpster was a mountain of books, and there were 4 like hardcover like Stephen King books, ones that I wanted to read. There was It, Misery, Skeleton Crew. So I grabbed all these books, and then also I went to my library's used bookstore the other day. They had a whole shelf of paperback Stephen King books. I picked up this whole stack, went up like, how much is all this? Oh, these are 50 cents each.
Yep.
So I got
They're always like a quarter.
Oh my God. I got 20 Stephen King books for $7.
Yep.
Like I am so like ecstatic.
Yep.
So I started reading I read The Mist this past week, and have you seen the movie The Mist?
No, I haven't. I've seen the trailers for it, but stuff like that.
It's great. I think I should just give you the book so you can read it.
Yeah.
So reading The Mist, like I'd seen the movie and liked it, but the movie came out in 2007 after Silent Hill, whatever. The book came out in 1980, and as I was reading The Mist, there are specific lines in it that reminds me exactly of Silent Hill.
Really?
They talk about like, there people are like, so the premise of The Mist, if you don't know what it's about, there's a crazy thunderstorm in Maine or whatever, and then the day later, this thick fog, this impenetrable fog starts creeping through the town.
Yeah.
And people don't know it at the time, but out of the fog comes these monsters. And it's just like Silent Hill, where it's like there's this town that gets shrouded in fog. Yeah. People describe like, I bet out in the fog, what if the streets just dip down into nothingness?
That's Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. And then like there's pterodactyl monsters and stuff, and it's like you can't go into the fog. And then I looked up online, and sure enough, in Silent Hill, there are streets named after famous authors. There's a Bachman Street, and like, which is Stephen King's original, like one of his pen names, Richard Bachman. Yeah. And the creators have said, The Mist was a huge inspiration. The other thing I love about The Mist in the book, they talk about, here up in the mountains, there's a government facility called the Arrowhead Project, and they're working on something. Yeah. And they talk about these secret government dudes, this secret science facility testing stuff out. An experiment went wrong, and out of it came monsters with tentacles and suctions. And sure enough, I looked online, and the writer of Half-Life said The Mist was an inspiration.
Oh, really?
So The Mist inspired Silent Hill and Half-Life. And specifically in The Mist, in the book, there's like these pink suction things that grab onto you and suck you, and it's like, that's head crabs. Yep. So it's so cool reading The Mist from 1980, and that was the origin of Silent Hill. And Half-Life. And Stephen King wrote another book called Firestarter. Really? Which is about a girl with magical powers. And again, Silent Hill is both that. Yeah. But so Stephen King, I got derailed for a bit. We talked about books, SD Perry, Stephen King, Masters of Horror. But I love Silent Hill. So this Halloween, I'm going to emulate Silent Hill 4, The Room. Yeah. I haven't played it yet. Because like Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, awesome. How was The Room?
The Room is good. I've never beaten it.
Okay, yeah.
I've played a ton of it, but I've never beaten it. It's cool. The concept is cool. How you're always going back to this one room and it's changing and it's not. But the one thing is there are enemies in there that you can't kill, and that kind of sucks.
I hate also like I get it, the storytelling thing, but I hate when games do that because it's like you waste all your ammo on them. Yeah, like you don't know. You
can get this thing to pin them down, but that's all. Like you waste one to pin them down, and that's it. They're pinned down. Yeah, and it's like okay. So I didn't really like that. The 1, 2, and 3 are the definitive. Yeah. 4 was made by the same company.
Yeah, so that's why I want to play it.
It's kind of after 4.
I have no interest in Homecoming. I played Silent Hill Downpour, which
that one was like nobody like
an American team.
The next one after 4, 5, Homecoming. Still had Akira Yamaoka on it. Okay, cool. So we did the music. The music's great. Yeah. Way too good for that game. But he was still produced, so he's still overseeing it. So it wasn't the worst game. Downpour was a whole different.
nobody from the original team was on it, and it was not good.
It's Downpour is the worst game I've finished. I kept playing because it's like I bought it super cheap. It's Silent Hill. I do like the idea of Silent Hill. I want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
It felt like an iPad game. Like the combat, everything was so simplistic and shitty. And I was thinking like, yeah, was this originally made for an iPad? Like, it's just so bad and lame and like, but
yeah, play through 4. 4 I still enjoyed. I just never beat it. I beat the first 3. I never beat 4, but I still mean to.
Yeah,
I have it and I want to pop it in and play it.
So outside of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, are there any other favorite horror games you like?
My all-time and it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Is PT.
Oh,
Legitimately, PT is one of the scariest game experiences I've ever had. And you can't get it anymore.
The funny thing with PT, it's one of those things where the game came out, so much hype, explosion. I downloaded it. I still have it on PS4. I still have never played it. Now that it's Halloween, I think I'll sit down and play it. What I think I'll also do is PSVR has a cinematic mode.
You can, It
comes out, when I'm recording this on Sunday, VR comes out Tuesday. I heard PSVR, like, you can put it in front of your face. It's not, like, perfect. But I do want to try playing PT in cinematic mode with the headphones, completely block myself out and play PT.
Always play PT with headphones. Anytime I play any scary games, I put headphones on because it just blocks, it removes you.
Yeah.
And I just want to play them as scary as possible.
That's the other thing, too, with sound design. Resident Evil 2, all the Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 2 specifically, this sound design.
Yeah.
Like, you hear, like, just the city and, like, fires and the... in the background, crows.
Yep.
Anytime Mr. X, the sound design of those games killed it. They sold it, and then the music. I won't stop talking about Resident Evil. That is one of my favorite series of all time too.
Love it.
This doesn't really count as horror in terms of scary, but like I love Dead Rising so much, the original. Because it's.
I played it a ton when it came out on Xbox 360, and that's the only one I'm going to get, of the re-releases for PS4. I only need one. I don't need any of the other ones. One was
played 2
this
okay,
arcadey
but
fun game.
Exactly. One was arcadey. It was classic. I love Dead Rising. Another horror game, I mentioned this I think on another episode of the podcast, but Haunting Ground. That was a game I bought and played recently, like 2012 or 13. Haunting Ground is a Capcom game. It was made in 2006, so like next gen was already here. Have you heard of Haunting Ground?
That's not the one that
you're being chased.
Okay, yeah, I have heard of that.
So you're this girl, you have a white dog, you're in a car crash, and again, what I like is minimalist story, minimalist setup, hyper scary. You're a girl, you're driving, you're in a car crash. You wake up and you're in a cell. Like an ogre has like kidnapped you from the car crash. You wake up in a cell and you escape, and you find out you're in a giant castle and you're stranded, and you are just running around this castle trying to like find keys and solve puzzles to like get out of the castle. Meanwhile, at any point the monster can find you and you're just being chased. And so like it's a game of hide and seek, and it's so terrifying. You have no weapons. You can, just like Silent Hill 4, you can like do stuff to pin it down or slow it down, but you can't ever kill it. So maybe you make a Molotov cocktail and you throw it and it slows it down for a second, but you have to keep running, you have to hide. I remember playing it like standing up in my chair because I was so tense. I love Haunting Ground. I hope that comes to PS2 on PS4. That is one of the most underrated games of all time. People just don't know about it. But I love Haunting Ground. And it is made by Capcom, so it does kind of have that nice, like, just PS2, like, it has this art style that is, like, synonymous with, like, Code Veronica or, like, Resident Evil 4. It just has this PS2 era graphics that I really find really charming. But yeah, Haunting Ground I love.
I never checked that one out, but it seems really cool.
Any other spook games? What was the game you tried out? Clive Barker?
Oh, Clive Barker's Undying. We always call it Clive Barker's I'm Dead because Brian, for some reason, referred to it as that at one point. Have you guys ever played Clive Barker's I'm Dead? That game I played because I was a PC gamer. I played a ton. And it's Clive Barker, so the story's really good. The gameplay's really fun. All the like lore and everything about the game is great. So
there's a ton of horror games I have listed up. I'll post a link to it, but PC Gamer posted a cool article of like the best horror games to play this Halloween or whatever. There's a lot of good stuff in there. BioShock is on there. I wouldn't really call that a horror game, but I get it. I really want to play Soma. Apparently that's supposed to be a really cool
I downloaded it and I've played it, and I like it so far. I haven't gotten back to it.
How was Layers of Fear? Did you play that?
Layers of Fear was good, but it's made by, I don't know if it's an American company or a European company, but you can tell it's not a Japanese horror game. It's got jump scares, things like that, and it kind of doesn't have that tense feeling.
Okay, yeah.
It's still scary, but it's a lot of just like,
Yeah,
instead of just like
yeah,
tense.
That's why I've never played like Outlast or like I don't want games that are like I just want like the tension.
Yeah,
like
you'll like PT.
Yeah. That's why I honestly like the first half of Gone Home or the first 20 minutes of Gone Home before you realize like this is just this.
It's
Gone
scary.
Home starts tense like and they deliberately set that up, which I think is really funny. And people were angry because it wasn't that, but it does set that up because it's like, oh, what is this house?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I want those minimalist, like spooky games. That's why I'm excited for PlayStation VR.
Yeah, me too.
Going forward, before we dip into deep other topics, what are some of your favorite games we haven't touched on? Anything big that just connecting to?
We again, it's all just Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Metal Gear.
The one game
Those are my
we haven't
all-time
mentioned
favorite.
is Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was another thing Kevin and I connected on. Red Dead Redemption, again, I think that is my favorite game of the last generation.
I think so too.
Of the 360 era.
I didn't have Xbox Live.
Yeah.
When I had the Xbox One, I had some free thing.
Yeah.
And when that game came out, in order to access my cloud saves that I had uploaded before, I needed Xbox Live. So I went out and got Xbox Live
so you can get
just so I can access my save.
It's backwards compatible. I forgot.
Yep, it's backwards compatible for Xbox One. And I went back because I almost completed that game.
Yeah.
I was so close. I thought it was 98. I'm like 96, 97.
I got pretty deep into it, but then like the challenges were like shoot a bear while moving from a train, like all the like survival challenges, like collect 20 flowers that it was like too hard for me, so I just stopped.
I had to stop.
But I did do all the side quests.
Hopefully they release some HD version of it or something like that, because I'll replay that in a heartbeat. Love that game.
Yeah, and like it's the infinitely rumored. Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 leaked every E3. I guess tease. I'm sure they're working on it. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption is. I love that game. I also want to plug real fast. I'm not sponsored by HBO, but Westworld. You still need to watch it, Kevin.
I haven't seen it.
I love Westworld. It's at the time of this recording, only 2 episodes have been released. That is like. I think it's even better than Lost, but like it has replaced that. Like there's this new mystery show.
Yeah. I love mystery
The thing
shows.
I love about Westworld is they have 5 seasons already planned.
Yeah.
And the showrunner is Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother. So this is the writer of Memento, Inception, The Dark Knight. I don't think that's being marketed as strongly enough. Like this is Christopher Nolan's like collaborator, and yeah, it has that quality. These like twists and like just this deep mystery to it. The premise of Westworld is it's the same like original story like by the person who did Jurassic Park. So it's very similar. It's Michael Crichton.
Yeah.
It's a theme park set in the future. You pay money to basically live out your fantasies as a cowboy in the Wild West. The Wild West town is populated by AI robots. And so it's as you're watching the show, it's almost the equivalent of like being a character, being the main player in Red Dead Redemption. You can do side quests or go on these adventures, and you can shoot people and NPCs, and none of it matters because they're all robots. The creator Jonathan Nolan, he said he played Grand Theft Auto to get a sense of like how like video game worlds are created. But yeah, check out Westworld. I love it, especially if you like Red Dead Redemption because it's hooting and hollering and cowboys. So check it out.
Awesome.
What games have you been playing lately?
Lately I've just been playing Dead Rising.
All the HD remasters.
I just finished Doom.
It
was such an amazing game.
the 2016 version.
2016 version. So good. It's the same feeling as Doom was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
No cheat codes though. And it was just so much fun to play all these games.
Yeah.
To play this and have that same like picking up shards of armor and health and stuff like that. And
I'm so happy that
so good.
The thing that definitely happened as video game studios got bigger and bigger and Ubisoft like started going crazy with this was like games have way too much bloat.
Yeah.
And there's so much side quests and collectibles and all this meaningless shit I don't love. Doom came out. It's still long enough. It was like 8 to 10 hours.
It was pretty long,
but you beat it, you played it, you're done. You're able to get everything. That one thing I love about Doom, there's collectibles. You can earn it. You can collect everything your first way through the game.
Yes.
You don't have to like. There's no Metrovania shit of like replaying levels or anything like that. You can just get everything as you go. So you had this full complete experience. It wasn't like too short, but it was 8 hours. It was dense. It was so fast, fun as hell, arcadey. This like the story was very minimalist. Like you are this ex-Marine legend. Time to
you can there's story in there and like little bits and stuff like that, and you can find it if you want, or you can just keep fighting. It doesn't matter.
I mean that I think like a lot of people like we're about to enter this season where there's all these holiday games, but I think Doom is going to come out as being like one of the best games of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Doom.
Doom is one of my games of the year.
I hope we just get more pulpy, arcadey, fast games like Doom. I hope it's the new trend.
I hope they have a sequel or something like that. I would play another one so much.
I think it got. Oh my god, yeah, they should call it Doom 2. They should call it Doom 2.
Yeah, they should just call it Doom 2.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. Yeah, it was a great game. One game I wanted to review. Did you ever play Limbo?
No, I haven't, but I've never really played it that much.
Limbo is incredible. It's awesome. The studio who made Limbo, this Danish video game developer, there's like a team of 10 people. 6 years later, they have a new game called Inside.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfect for like Halloween. The premise of Inside, it's one of those games, kind of like with Limbo, where it's like very minimalist storytelling, but the more you don't know going into it, the more you get out of it. But Inside just starts, you're a boy who's escaped like a science research facility.
Yeah. And
the whole game you're just trying to escape. And it's like, you're just trying to escape these people who are trying to capture you. Like you're an experiment or something. But, and you're just trying to escape and people are chasing you. And just like with Limbo, the deaths are extremely graphic and silent and shocking. But like even more so than Limbo, it kind of has like, I would almost compare it to like Last of Us, where the checkpoints are very forgiving. If you die, you are right there. You don't have to backtrack or do anything. You die and you have to think, okay, why did I die? What is this puzzle? So you can just start, you can play through it like pretty freewheeling.
Yeah.
So like it's tense just because of the storytelling and the background is so like creepy, but you don't have to worry about like losing progress. If you die, you're right, you're like
right where you left off.
pretty close back where it's like, okay, what do I have to figure out? The game is great. It's spooky. They like last 40 minutes. It does something. This is one of these reviews where I'm not going to say stuff, but like if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. And when you do play it, you will know what I'm talking about. But you play through Inside. It's very much like Limbo. The storytelling, like the graphics, the animation is so fluid and gorgeous. The storytelling is deep. There's more like things in the background going on. There's a lot of depth. It's still 2D.
Yeah.
So you're playing through the game, and then it takes this kind of like crazy twist. You're getting something where you think is the ending. And then you keep playing.
Oh,
and it's
really?
like, oh my god, the game evolves.
That's cool.
And like, yeah, I want people to experience it, but Inside is cool. It's $15 for like maybe a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of tight on money, wait for it to be on sale. But like, if you like Inside, if you like those indie storytelling games, I would say go for it. Inside's really cool. It's on Xbox One,
check it
PS4.
out.
Yeah, I recommend Inside. Also, yeah, like when Rachel's in town, play through it together. It's definitely so creepy, and it's a thing where like Josie doesn't care about most of the games I play, whatever. But I showed her that ending thing of Inside, and she thought that was awesome.
Really? Okay, cool.
It does something cool, and then the way it ends is like a commentary on video games itself.
Really?
I'll
definitely check that out.
I really dig it. The thing that sucks though is it takes the studio 6 years to put out a game.
Yeah.
But I really dug it. Another indie game. I didn't review this now, but it reminded me of like Brothers, the Tale of Two, whatever. Brothers. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I've heard of that game.
A Tale of Two Brothers. It's very similar to that, where here's this fun game, really dark, creepy storytelling, and then the ending does something where it's like, oh my god, it makes you rethink everything.
Really?
That's a game, I think that's been on PlayStation Plus. I recommend Brothers, A Tale of Two... The game is called A Tale of Two Brothers, but I keep wanting to say Brothers, A Tale of Two Cities, A Tale of Two Stories, whatever. But yeah, Brothers is a dope-ass game, and Inside, that's the game. That's my recommendation of the episode or whatever, on top of Doom. I guess at this point, I'll bring in... We'll do emails in a second, but before we get to that... we're about to enter the season. We're about to get PlayStation VR, but outside of that, what are you looking forward to?
Last Guardian, definitely. I cannot wait for Last Guardian. That one, and I've never been into Final Fantasy ever.
Yeah.
But this one looks intriguing enough that I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
This is the first Final Fantasy game I ever literally play.
It's different enough. I do recommend when Final Fantasy 12 comes out, get that. The HD remaster. Because it's got a fun, like the story isn't the best Final Fantasy, but it's like, it's simple and fun enough where it's like the equivalent of like Star Wars. You meet these adventures, you gotta save the princess, like, it's fun. The combat is so, like, it's so satisfying. Yeah. The cool thing with Final Fantasy 12 is like, it's not random battles. You see enemies on the map, you can go up to them and engage them in combat. Okay. That's the one thing I get fatigued with JRPGs is the random battles.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 15 will be like, I guess even more actiony. But
yeah,
I recommend.
That's why I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, with me, like, again, now I was working a lot over the summer, and even up till now, that's why I haven't done an episode. But like, there's so much stuff in my backlog I want to play. Yeah. I hope the new Dead Rising 4 with Frank West is fun. I still have to play 3, but I hope that's cool. Before we get to emails, I have one important topic to talk about. Game Days is approaching, whatever. More importantly, Connor's annual N64 Halloween fart party is coming up.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the Spencer and Connor episode, but Kevin, from your perspective, I want to interview everybody and get their perspective.
Yeah.
Can you explain what this is?
Well, basically, we always wanted to celebrate Connor's birthday, but it never matched up with when we would all be in town.
Yeah.
So we just started to make his birthday whenever we would all be in town, which is game days.
Yeah, November.
So we would that would be his birthday. His birthday's not till like, what, a month later?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know who started it, but everybody would just bring the worst Nintendo 64 games for Connor, to the point where I don't think we've legitimately bought him a real birthday present in years.
No.
So I feel really bad about that.
I think he doesn't watch the show. I think I'll buy him like a PS4 game.
I want to buy him something legitimate this year. But
and a shitty game.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm gonna get him Road Rash N64.
I need to like make up for the past.
You've gotten him like Hercules. One year I got Connor Xena Warrior Princess,
and I got Hercules.
Hercules is a Zelda ripoff.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. What are some other games you got on Connor?
Oh, I forgot. I got him. Who got him the rat one?
Oh my god.
There was a rat one with like.
It wasn't Bad Rats. It
No.
was like something else.
It was Rat Attack.
Yeah, Rat Attack.
Yeah, but I've gotten Connor so many that I can't even remember anymore.
Well, that's what's so funny. Every time I go to Spencer and Connor's house, their N64 collection
It's huge.
It's huge, and their N64 is so shitty. It doesn't like.
It's like all the joysticks are all wobbly.
We should
and
probably.
stuff.
It's only like $20. We should buy them a new N64 because it takes. Anytime we have this birthday party at Spencer and Connor's house, Spencer will go to the N64 console and slap the shit out of it, blowing all the games. They kick it. It doesn't. It barely works. One year at the birthday party, we couldn't find Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Spencer spent hours finding it. Do you know where did he find it eventually?
Was it in the toaster oven?
It was in a toaster oven.
Yeah, there was a toster oven
in the garage.
To the TV. Yeah.
Yes.
But what was it? There was one thing that I got Connor. I don't remember. I can't remember. There was the name of a game that was awful, and I cannot remember it. But
yeah, it's I mean, you got him a Power Rangers game, the Mighty Morphin thing. Every year, it's been like 6 years, and we just keep getting him shittier and shittier games. No promises, but maybe I'll bring my camera to the next one and just maybe make a little highlight reel.
Film a little thing.
Make a little birthday video. Should be fun.
Yeah,
but
I will say that it started evolving, and to the point where we tried, like, I would get Connor a shitty game, but it would be decent looking.
Yeah.
And by the end, I wanted so many Blockbuster stickers on there, and just name of a kid written all over the top.
That's the other thing too. When we buy Connor presents, we get him. That's the other charm with N64 games. We get them the shittiest quality. Yeah, Blockbuster sticker, property of Blockbuster, Tanner.
We'll all be on Skype.
Yeah.
And then we'll all just go on eBay and go, oh, I just found this one.
We've looked
and it's
for the
like
shittiest
peeled off label, and it's like written on it and stuff.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. And then now what I do when I give Connor the game, on the back I'll write "Happy Birthday, Connor," and I'll put the date on it. That way, if 20 years from now people find these games, they all say Connor on it. Because that's the other thing too. When I had like a few remaining N64 games in my house that I found in the garage, they all had my phone number written on them, and I just gave them to Connor. And so when you go on eBay, that's the other thing too. That blows my mind. You don't have that anymore. But yeah, kids used to write their names on video games. Yeah. Because people used to go to friends' houses and borrow their games and stuff, and people would write it. There's a Twitter account I love that does the same thing. I think it's called like Image Quality Good or something, or whatever, where they go on eBay and they look for games listed as like item in good condition, and it's the shittiest thing. Yeah.
Beat up. Oh, it's so bad.
Hey, if you have an N64 game that has like your name on it or whatever, look for the shittiest quality N64 game you have. Send me a picture of it. We'll have a little highlight reel.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had the clout to ask people to send me N64 games for Connor. But we're not in there yet. I'm not gonna be begging, but hey, put it on eBay and I'll buy it.
We can afford 99 cents per game.
Put your shitty N64 game up on eBay. Message me and maybe we'll buy it. Yeah, I can afford it.
I don't think I spent more than $3 for a game for Connor.
No, we just look for the cheapest. I do want to get him Road Rash, and like some jet ski game.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the N64 Connor Wiley updates. None of you are invited. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll film it. It's VIP exclusive. All right. Emails. All right. Email time with Kevin and Rocco.
Hey.
Rocco, now you're like third time on the episode, or on this show, I think.
Not enough.
No, this is like your fourth time.
I should be on each one.
There you go. All right.
Don't do one without me.
Okay. So we got some emails. It's been 6 months since I've done a new episode, so I'm digging to the bottom of the barrel. No, I'm just kidding. These are the best emails, Lovey. Thank you for sending them in. Moises Romero, or Moses,
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, Moises. He sent him some photos of stuff he has. He was just saying like, hey, I like your show, it's a collection, I'll put them in the thing.
Yeah.
He has a Final Fight press kit. Which is
Really?
cool. It's a thing full of shit from Final Fight. He has like a Super Meat Boy statue, whatever. He sent me a very blurry photo of his game collection. Very high
It's
quality.
like abstract art. Look at that.
I think he has Bigfoot in his collection.
Somewhere in there.
Thank you so much, Moises. His question, though, he does have a good question. What dead game series would you like to see brought back from the dead, and what changes would you make to the mechanics of the series to make it fit with contemporary games? So what old series would you like to see brought back from the dead?
I know exactly.
Yeah, what's your answer?
Jak and Daxter.
Oh.
That game,
Really?
they have not have a game since
PS2,
the PS2.
yeah, it was just that, yeah.
That was it. It was
There
on
wasn't
PS2.
one on 3?
They
Nope.
did HD.
Wow.
remake.
HD really of the ones on 2.
Yeah.
But,
Realize that.
But
Wow.
man, that ended like in what 2007
Yeah.
or 8, and that was it. Like they haven't had a single one since, and that's one of my favorite game series on the PS2.
I played the first one when it first came out. I heard was 2 the one that was open world and kind of whatever.
Yep. One
3
was amazing. 2 opened it kind of open world.
Yeah.
I didn't like it as
Was
much,
3
and it was
strong?
hard as fuck.
Yeah.
3 was good. Yeah.
Yeah?
3 was a good balance between the two.
But like, was 1 the best one?
Yeah.
So then maybe they didn't end it strong enough. So maybe that's why they're like, whatever. Let's
Maybe
do it.
they started on it.
Yeah.
There's concept art and everything. They shelved it because it wasn't what they wanted.
Well, I mean, like at this point, I kind of want Naughty Dog just to make new properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know, hey, Naughty Dog is at this level now. Anything they'll make, I'll play.
Yeah.
What would you want to see back though if they did a new Jak and Daxter? Would you want like a heart-gripping story from Neil Druckmann to make you cry?
Legitimately, like that was what was cool about the series. Is the first one is a kids game, and the second one is dark.
Yeah.
And so that I just go darker. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like at this point, like
Yeah, there you go.
like they made it way more grown up.
Yeah.
People die and things like
There you
that.
go.
And so yeah, go dark. Go darker than Last of Us.
There you go. Jack's got to save Dax.
Hey, I just want to chime in. We're getting that, or like, you know, there's a chance they might work on that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know for sure. We're getting Shenmue 3. Like,
Yeah.
that's already confirmed.
Yeah, this last E3 they brought everything.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, people
Yeah.
wanted that.
Yeah.
My
Holy
number
shit,
one thing, in terms of like a past thing revived,
Yeah.
my number one, now that all that is
Yeah.
confirmed, is without a doubt Parappa 3.
Oh my God.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
And imagine in today's graphics, that paper style, they
Yeah.
can make it look like physical paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where is this?
It's crazy
Do
because
it.
like the artist, I'll link his Facebook. He still does Parappa art. 'Cause
Yeah.
He owns like the stuff.
Yes.
But I think what it was is the voice actor of Parappa got like crazy
He did.
money hungry and
Yes.
like that went sour.
Yeah, he like threatened some kid too, or something like that. But,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Get a new one. Get a new voice
yeah.
actor.
So, but yeah, recast it. The strength of Parappa was not the voice acting.
It was the art style. It's
Yeah,
world.
exactly.
That world was so charming and crazy and like, oh yeah, I want. Also, I guess another thing, yeah, Jet Set Radio. Fucking
Yeah.
bring that
Yeah.
back. But I'll touch on that. But what would you want to see back from Parappa to run? What modern game mechanics would you want in there?
I
Other
mean
than
that
graphics.
that game, the star is more so like presentation things
Yeah.
than the gameplay. I
Yeah.
mean, the gameplay is music based. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly feel like they could continue that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it had the same kind of controls, I think people would appreciate it with new songs.
Yeah. Mhm.
So if they had like modern day hip hop and hip hop production
Oh, wow.
with that kind of physicality of the graphics, like
Yeah.
making it look like real paper.
It would
and
also be cool
things
to have
that,
like.
it'd be great.
It would also be cool to have a little hub world we could walk around.
Yeah.
Imagine that world fully realized. It would
That's
be even
true.
funny if it was 2D, like but in a 3D world, you could walk around and you see like it too. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
a new Parappa would be amazing. I totally forgot that. But yeah, at this point, Sega is so far gone. But yeah, if there was an original. I feel like if Sega brought anything back, it wouldn't have that quality.
Yeah.
But hypothetical, if they brought back Jet Set Radio, did a new
Yeah.
one, hyper Japanese, like the graphics
Yeah.
would be amazing, music, everything. I would like, yeah, Jet Set Radio never had online multiplayer. It'd be cool to
No.
see what they could do with that.
They need to-
Truly make
they-
it open world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to bring it back because that's one series that is considered classic,
Yeah.
but is so much bigger and better in people's minds.
Yeah.
Because of it had such a great style and a
Yeah.
great world. I'm sorry, but if you play that first one, that shit's broken.
The
Like,
controls
it's
are
not
kinda
that
rough.
fun.
Yeah.
But Future was great.
Yeah.
Where's the HD re-release of that?
The
Where is
Jet
that?
Set Radio HD didn't sell enough. That was their excuse. Like, oh, so we're not
Are you
gonna revisit-
serious?
Yeah.
What?
They should just do a...
Because I was waiting for Future. I didn't buy the old one.
Yeah.
You know, Future was legitimately an improvement. And
soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah, they could do so much with a new one.
It's funny. There was someone who on some forum. There was a project. It was like Jet Set Remake or whatever, and they posted a play build of it, and it looked like shit. Like people say, it was someone remaking it in like Unity, so completely different like software engine, and like it didn't play red. But people were so desperate for it, they were like, hell yeah. Immediately cease and desist from Sega.
I never understand that kind of, like you said, they judge the demand by re-releasing the old one. I never understand that, because that's the fucking limbo. Sorry, can I curse on this? I can't remember. That's the limbo
only speaking curses
that Chrono Trigger is in. Because I don't know anyone that wouldn't give an appendage or a limb or whatever to get a new Chrono Trigger, but they keep going, well, not that many people bought it when we re-released the first one on DS. Who gives a fuck about that one? We're waiting for the new one.
Yeah.
I've played Chrono Trigger 100 times on different platforms. Like, you know, I know it's not just me. I know it's a lot of people on there. That's always at the top of every awards list. And anyway.
There you go. My answers, I thought about a lot. Final Fight, that's probably not coming back.
Yeah, where's
Beat 'em ups are gone. Final Fight, again, one of my all-time favorite games of all time. I didn't really like... Final Fight came out, and then the sequels were straight to SNES, so they didn't have the same scale as the arcade original. They're still fun, whatever. Then they did Final Fight Streetwise for PS2. They tried doing gritty with whatever. I would love a new Final Fight with that same Street Fighter 2 quality graphics, that old school Capcom arcade graphics, super bright pixels. Same thing. What I love about Final Fight: keep the story simple. Oh, a gang's taken over, kidnapped your girlfriend, rescue your girlfriends. But modern mechanics I love. I love games that have like some system of progression where you're like leveling up. So like what Scott Pilgrim or Castle Crashers did. You're constantly leveling up, earning new abilities and weapons. Even if it's slight, have some kind of progression system.
There's a new River City game on 3DS, and it has that.
Oh, I gotta get that now.
You can actually
maybe just get River City. But yeah, I love like XP progression system. I like roguelike qualities. But yeah, maybe you can have a Final Fight where it's procedurally generated, where the city layout's different each time. Online co-op. There's a super Korean MMO called Dungeon Fighter Online, which is like a beat 'em up that you lock on, you level up and get new skills in different classes. But it's a Korean MMO. So it's the kind of game where you're meant to play infinitely and the numbers just scale up. I looked up a trailer on Steam, like, this looks cool. And then I saw you're punching, you're doing 16 trillion points of damage, and it's just big numbers on the screen. Okay, this doesn't look fun. I don't want to play this for years. So that's the other thing. I was talking with Kevin earlier about the Doom reboot, which they did brilliantly. Great, fast, fun, tight. There's no bloat. This is it. This is exactly what you want. I don't want bloat. But yeah, bring back Final Fight. Probably won't happen, but hey, Final Fight Arcade I love. Another game I wish... This isn't so much an old one, but Skate 4. People have been dying for Skate 4. The skating culture is kind of like done. I mean, like, it still exists, but like that wave of extreme sports is out. But again, if you did Skate 4, PS4, this new level of graphics, make it even more realistic. Make the city denser. Go inside an actual shopping mall, like with actual pedestrians. That's the thing. Skate didn't have many pedestrians, and I know you want the city to be free, but like make a dense city, hyper realistic. I really want to Skate 4. Also, maybe have like I kind of hate always online, but like Skate 3, I don't think you guys played it, but Skate 3 had a thing where, just like Forza, where you're playing and it would populate the city with people who have on your friends list. So you'd see like, Rocco, but it's just an AI skating. Actually have all your like multiplayer of the whole city. Multiplayer in Skate 3 and all the skate games where it's like, okay, here's this one part of the level you can skate around in. It couldn't load the whole thing. Have it be like always online. You can skate anywhere in the city.
I'm sure they can do that now.
Yeah, bring Skate 4. EA's Instagram, any post they make is 16 billion people typing Skate 4. So we'll see, but I just think the market for extreme sports is dead, but we'll see.
It's like when you look up any Adult Swim show, all the comments are, "Where's Metalocalypse?"
The other thing I did put down, but then I did some research. I would love a new Cruisin' USA. Cruisin' USA on the N64 is one of my favorite games. And again, as a kid, playing driving games was so fun because it's like, oh, I'm 6 years old. I can't drive in the real life, but here I can drive. I love Cruisin' USA. It's really cheesy. They are coming out with a new Cruisin' game.
Oh, really?
It's called Cruisin'. I'll post a link to the article. It's called Cruisin' Redline. It's being location tested at a movie theater in Chicago. And I mean, it's not gonna have the same charm, but it's cruising, has the same branding. Bring that to Xbox Live Arcade, or that's an outdated term. Whatever. Bring it to digital for $10. Let us play with friends online. I would love that. Or make a cruising. Just put Cruising USA so we can play online with multiplayer. 8 people online. Yeah. How have they never done that?
Yeah.
I want an Arcade Fun Racer. I want the original Midway shit. Oh yeah, Midway is gone. That's why.
See, Cruisin', I liked it in the arcade, and then when I got it for my birthday when I was a kid, and I was so disappointed because it wasn't as good, and you couldn't run over the cows.
Oh,
that was my favorite part of the arcade one. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
But I still like with Cruising USA. You could as a kid, this cracked me up. You'd be driving and you hit a car and it flips out and it keeps driving. And at the end of this finish line, it would have the hot cheerleader babe. Yeah. Like wow. I know. Those Midway's games were really charming. There is a documentary being produced right now called Insert Coin. I posted a link before.
Oh, yeah.
But this film crew, I think they were raised on Kickstarter or whatever, but they're going around and they're interviewing people in Chicago, all the original Midway people. And they're like filming like, hey, how is Mortal Kombat made? And they're doing a documentary about Midway. Which, like, as someone who is obsessed with arcade games, that is so damn cool. Yeah. So check out Insert Coin.
Cool.
But yeah, Moises, thank you for the good question, good discussion. What's one game series that you wish they wouldn't bring back? That you hope they don't ever touch by adding a new sequel to it. That was so good.
Oh, you mean it was so good?
Yeah,
so you don't want
a sequel. You don't want a sequel. Like,
ooh.
Not that like like. That's another thing too. When sequels come out, it doesn't hurt the original, but like still, what's something you should just leave alone?
Just
Metal
leave
Gear
it alone.
Solid 5.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Don't make a Metal Gear Solid 6.
We don't need any more Metal Gear Solid.
There you go. Leave Metal Gear alone. That's probably it. I'm trying to think if there's anything sacred to me where
I mean, if Kojima was doing it, because for all intents and purposes, 4 ended Metal Gear.
Yeah.
But 5 was like this bonus awesome game. It was all the amazing gameplay. But if he's not doing it,
it's funny. I feel like after Resident Evil 6, I felt like, all right, please, goodbye, no more Resident Evil, just let this die. Yeah. Now that Resident Evil 7 seems like it's totally fresh,
like a different thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm happy. But,
oh man, I don't know. That's a tough choice. It's not really the answer to your question, but I both do and don't want a sequel to The Last of Us. I want one, but not to do with anyone in that first game.
I feel like if they were to do a sequel to Last of Us, make it a completely independent storyline.
It can't be Joel and Ellie. It cannot be.
Set in that world, it'd be great. I always tell Josie, I would love it if it was something that was at the dawn of the outbreak.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh shit. Because like that opening scene in The Last of Us where you're driving around, there's people getting shot, and like, what is going on? Like, stay there. I mean, in the original, it works great. But let's see it ride out.
Yeah.
And again, you can do that kind of... with like maybe not for PS4, PS5, but like, can you imagine like that's one thing I always want from video games, which we still haven't gotten. But like, GTA 5 has the city, but the pedestrians are pretty calm. Can you imagine mass pandemonium, so much shit going on in a full dense city, like, and you can go into offices and buildings. Yeah. There's online games on Steam, but you don't have like all the AI written out. Like you're just in an empty city, whatever. I want like that's what I always envision is like just put me in a city and you can fucking do any we'll see. But anyways, next email question. This comes from Ed Vinnis. This is at the end of my email list. I need more emails. Please email neighborgameclub@gmail.com. But basically, he's asking if we've ever played Metroid Prime 1, 2, or 3, because he said I should consider emulating those.
So I was talking about that.
All the Metroid Prime games, I've never played them.
Really?
I have the collection or whatever on Wii. That's all. I've never played them.
I played Metroid Prime 1 or 2, or I don't know. I played Metroid Prime, but like I think I was just maybe too young for it. Whatever. I got when I was like 12 or like 10, I don't know, whatever it was. But I was like not even a teenager yet, and I got Metroid Prime and like I played it and the graphics were cool, but like I just wasn't into it. It didn't click with me, so I never played it since. I've since gone back and played Super Metroid, and like now that I emulate games, I'm sure I'd love to play it on Dolphin with good graphics, but I haven't revisited yet.
Yeah.
But were you a fan of those?
Yes, I played all of them, and I love all of them. The first one I think has some of the best presentation of a Nintendo game. Mm-hmm. Like the art direction is really good. It is
like pretty mature and sophisticated.
Yeah, and what's great about them, and honestly, it's what they seem to carry on a lot of this in the new Doom.
Yeah.
Why I like the new Doom the new Doom felt like a fucked up Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Sorry again if I can't curse, but
There's never been a rule on the show. You're allowed to curse.
There you go. But anyway, it's just going forward, and kind of excavating something that's been long destroyed.
Yeah.
And you can skip the story and just get to the action, or you can read all these things. What's on the computer?
I love presentation like that.
What's this
too,
note? That, stuff like that. So it was really good about that. Those games also have some of the best sound design. Mm-hmm. And I remember the sound effects being especially like, wow, the sound effects are all really cool in this game. I later found out our good friend Tommy Tallarico did all those sounds.
Oh, whoa.
He got approached by Miyamoto himself. So that was really cool.
Tommy Tallarico also did the sound design on music selection or whatever for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
Amazing.
Legend.
But yeah, so anyway, I really like those games. The first one blew me away with its environments, and it just felt like I was discovering all this weird old stuff, and I really liked it. I hit a point, though, where it was like, okay, you're making me backtrack a lot. Mm-hmm. Got a little tired of it, but ultimately liked the game.
Yeah.
2 was too for some reason I was turned off by 2. It was the Dark World, Light World stuff. I got sick of that.
As someone who does, how do the Metroid games change from 1, 2, and 3? Are you on a different planet each time? How does the setting change?
It's been a long time since I played them. Yeah, you're on different planets for each one. But 2, as far as I remember, you encounter a dark version of yourself, and you're flipping between a Dark World, Light World. If you're Link to the Past style, flipping between those two, and then there's certain guys who are dark, so you want to use a light powered gun to kill them, and likewise if there's light enemies you use dark stuff, and you flip between worlds, and different things work in different worlds differently than the other one, which is a great concept, but it just got to a point where it was, I feel like I was just kind of turned off by it. Was difficult for me at the time. I mean, I've never been that very good at video games, to be honest, but it was difficult, and also just that whole dynamic got complicated to the point that it kind of stressed me out to play it. So whatever, not the worst done game, but it was just kind of complicated. But 3 I thought was very well paced from beginning to end, and it used, I'm sorry, but the Wii, you could talk smack on all these random games that use the waggle, but
was
that game
3 is Wii exclusive?
3 was on the Wii, and it used, it had great Wii remote controls where you're pointing and shooting, and it worked awesome. It worked really, really good.
What about Federation Force?
Not playing that.
All right, well, there you go. Thank you for another episode of Neighborhood Game Club. This might be the longest one on the books. I don't know. I haven't chopped it up yet.
Check the books.
Check the books.
Yep.
Check out Stephen King books.
It's fun.
Find them at your local library for 50 cents like I did. This is a big one because I haven't done one in a while. I will have more free time in the future. I'm going to Vegas in 2 days.
That'll be fun.
I'm going to be doing an episode there. Check out the arcades. I'll do an arcade
He's going to talk to Steve Wynn and ask about his game collection.
Yeah, there you go. Let's check it out.
And Steve Wynn is going to be like, well, I like the Metroid series because it's got a certain pizzazz. If you know Steve Wynn's voice, you like that part.
I'm seeing Penn and Teller. I'm not going to...
Good. Oh, that's good. That's a good
excited. Show. I'll check out... There's a new GameWorks. It's been relocated. I'll check it all out. I'll let you know. We'll talk to Vegas. Send in more emails to neighborhoodgameclub@gmail.com. We'll do a few more episodes and keep gaming.
Speaking of Penn and Teller, by the way, sorry to hijack this, but Penn and Teller have an unreleased Sega CD game that never came out. Yes. Yeah. Well, it had the bus is part of it, but it's a bigger game. You got to see the whole thing. Go look it up online and find an emulation of it because that's your only chance.
And they're doing Magic Bus VR 2 or whatever. They're doing Magic Bus 2 for VR. Awesome. And Penn was interviewed and he said his kids love Minecraft. And he said Penn and Teller, when they do their show, they have huge celebrities go backstage. I think even a Beatle. And he said their kids were the most starstruck when they got to meet Notch.
Oh,
them Notch is there meeting the Beatles.
Yeah,
so I thought that was really, really cute.
Yeah.
Who is your Beatles? Is it Notch? Thank you so much. Let me know if you watched to the end of this episode. This was so long, but maybe you were playing World of Warcraft while playing this. Who knows?
If you made it to the end, comment with there should be a word that they only know if they get to the end.
Yeah, what's the secret thing?
Snosberry.
No, let's leave it to Kevin. What's the secret word?
Shit.
No, come on. All right, that's it.
They've heard of shit.
Shit. Now people are gonna
comment
watch.
With no.
People are gonna click on this video and think, "Hey, this is a shitty video." I didn't even realize that. Shit. Kevin, this is gonna be the worst reviewed episode of all time.
Dude, Blue 42.
Blue 42. What is that?
Blue 42.
It's
secret codes.
Okay, Blue 42.
Blue 42.
There you go. All right, thank you so much for watching Neighborhood Game Club. I just don't want to leave you guys. I missed you. That's a final word.
Shit.